Hi kids, I'm going to show you today an example of how to solve using commutative property and distributive property when you have a picture of something instead of just an equation. So when I look at this first set or group of boxes, I'm going to look at it and say how many rows and how many columns. So here's the first row, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So I know that this is 7 times how many columns? 1, 2 columns. 7 times 2. And then I'm going to count by 2's to get my answer. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I know that 7 times 2 equals 14. Well, over here, if you look at my second box here, I'm going to count my rows. I have 1, 2 rows times how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. Now I'm going to count by by the rows, so I have 7 plus 7 equals 14. So this is an example of commutative property. If you know 7 times 2 equals 14, then you know that 2 times 7 equals 14. So that is commutative property. Even though the arrays don't look, or the groups of, or the picture does not look the same, because of commutative property, it doesn't matter what order these factors are in, they still will equal the same product. Okay, so now I'm going to clear those annotations, and I'm going to talk about distributive property. And when I look at my first grouping here, I know that our problem was 7 times 2. But what if I don't know what 7 times 2 is? I can easily break this problem into 2 parts, right down the middle. And my first multiplication problem will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1 column. 7 times 1 equals 7, plus my other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1 column equals 7. So when I look at my answer, 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 equals 7. And then I could answer 7 plus 7 equals 14. So what I did was just break up the 2 here. And I made it into a 1 and a 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So that's distributive property. Now when I go over to my second picture here, I'm going to move it over a little bit. Okay. I could look at this many different ways. I could divide it right down the middle here, but I'm going to divide it right here. It doesn't matter where you divide the picture, as long as you know how many rows and how many columns. Well, I know there's 2 rows, so 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4 columns equals, and then when I come over here, I know there's 2 rows times 1, 2, 3 columns. So now I'm going to get my product, and I'm going to add them together. 2 times 4 equals 8. 2 times 3 equals 6. 8 plus 6 equals 14. So that is distributive property. I'm just breaking the picture in different parts to make sure that I can solve it easier to get the answer. This seems like a pretty easy one anyway, 2 times 7. Maybe next example I'll do a little more difficult problem. So good luck.